This meeting is being recorded.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
All right, cool. All right. We're gonna let some more people get on in here. Give them a little time. We're gonna finish up. We're gonna finish up tonight. Part 2 of how to achieve success. Hold on 1 second. Send this out real quick. All right. See here. All right. In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah. Muhammad is his messenger. I would like to greet all of you with the greeting words of peace. We said in the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum. For those who don't know, Assalamu alaikum simply means peace be unto you. Today we're going to be watching part 2 of Dr. Myles Munroe talk about the 10 life-changing tips to achieve success. So I know last Friday we was able to view this and we got a lot of notes, ton of notes, really good part 1 that we did. I'm trying to find my notes. Okay, here we go. I got mine pulled up. Oh, nope, that is not it. Hold on. There we go. All right, I got mine pulled up here. And then we're going to go ahead and watch part 2 of this. We got about 40 minutes left in the lecture. So let's take notes and then we'll all share what stands out to us at the end. Here we go.
And you know laws and you obey laws, you control the outcome. There's a verse in the Bible that we don't even think about. Simple verse, you know, daughter. Jesus says, a farmer goes out to sow. He sows his seed. Watch this now. He says, and then he sleeps and he wakes and he sleeps and he wakes, and so comes the shoot and then the tree and then the fruit. Now, what you didn't hear Jesus say is, he goes to bed and he prays and he fasts and he speaks in tongues. He did not say that. He said he goes out and he sows the seed in the soil. Then he sleeps and he wakes. In other words, the guy doesn't think about it anymore. Why? I've done what I'm supposed to do. I obeyed the laws. I can go to sleep. You get up and gone. I'm going to say it again. When you know law and you obey law, you control the outcome. The farmer doesn't have to pray for the outcome. So he goes to sleep and he wakes. After you go to the gas station and you fill your car with unleaded gasoline, do you pray for the car to run? No. Why? You obeyed the law. So you don't even pray. You just press the gas and you're gone. Why? It's supposed to work if I do what I'm supposed to do. Laws. Law of wisdom. It's very important. Knowledge of laws and principles are the source of wisdom. The Bible says, in all you're getting, get wisdom. And if it costs you all you have, get understanding. Write down the scripture. It is Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7. Write that down. That's one of my key scriptures in my life. One of my favorite verses in my life is Proverbs 4, verse 7. I live on that from a teenage. I still live on it. I'm quoting it again. In all you're getting, get wisdom. But if it costs you all you have, get understanding. He's talking about the laws. If you understand the laws, you become wise. Knowledge of laws produce boldness. Sometimes people think that you are wise. No, you ain't wise. You're just knowledgeable. Knowledgeable of what? The laws. When you learn the laws of life, people think you're smart. You ain't smart. You just got a good memory, and you follow the laws. They call that wisdom. I can counsel anybody. I'm counseling people at the top governments, and they think I'm smart. No, I just know the laws. I know the laws of leadership. I know the laws of communication. I know the laws of social development. I know the laws of family security. So I just repeat the laws. They think, oh, you're so wise. I ain't wise. I got a good memory. And they pay you for a good memory because the laws make sense. Am I still coming through? You all are quiet tonight, boy. Wisdom is laws and principles applied. Matter of fact, the three words you want to remember is knowledge, understanding, and wisdom, right? They're different. Knowledge is information, understanding is comprehension, but wisdom is application. You can actually know laws and don't apply them. The result is the same, huh? You fail. You know your gas tank is on E. You know that. But you could avoid gas stations. You know the car needs it. So you got knowledge, you understand the car needs it, you got comprehension, but you ain't got no wisdom. What is wisdom? Applying it, going to the station and getting the gasoline. So coming to a class like this is one thing, understanding what I'm saying is another thing, but leaving here, what you do with it is totally up to you. And wisdom is application. So laws and principles are more important than power. When a person knows the laws, they have power. When you learn the laws, you can demand your own value. Your car breaks down, the mechanic knows the law, the mechanic says, look, $300. He says, I don't care how you argue. You want car work? I know laws. So it's $300. See, when you know laws, you can demand your own value. I can almost hear you thinking, why didn't I hear this 25 years ago? Because you were in the wrong place. Now you're in the right place. You are at Diplomat Center, at Bahamas State Ministries. You're in the right place. Give God a hand for being in the right place. All right. Laws versus strength. Now, notice I talk about laws versus wisdom. But let's talk about laws versus strength. Sometimes a strong person is not smart. Let's read what the Bible says in Joshua 1 again. God told Joshua, be strong and courageous. How? He says, by keeping the laws. Your strength is proven by the laws you know and the laws you obey. A strong person is a person who keeps law. I ain't talking about ritual laws now, you know. I'm talking about the laws that God built into life, inherent laws. The 10 Commandments are actually divine laws. You can't change them. I was thinking the other day, when God said, do not kill. Do not kill. I was thinking, kill. That means anything that's alive can be killed, correct? You can kill a forest. Now, why did God say don't kill? Because when you kill, you affect everything else. You affect everything else. So these are divine laws. You protect life. You preserve life. Make your way prosperous. Now, I want to wrap this up with the difference between laws and rules. It's very important. I'm going to give you the 10 laws. We can close on that. And then I want you to don't miss a session. But we can deal with each law separately, so you know them. Okay? Let's talk a little bit about this. True principles and laws are never broken. Violation of law is impossible. You don't break laws. That's number one. Number two, true principles and laws can never be violated. If you jump from a 10-story building. You didn't violate gravity. Gravity violated you. When you jump off a 10-story building, you didn't push yourself down. Gravity pulled you down. Do you know the difference? You didn't fall if you jump from a 10-story building. You were pulled down. If gravity didn't exist, you would have floated. You don't break laws. That's number 3. True laws and principles break those who violate them. Number 4, the creator of true law does not have to impose judgment. These are important principles of violation of law. Number 5, judgment is inherent in true law principles, built into them. And number 6, true law and principles attract and activate their own benefits. I like this part. And their judgment. I don't like that part. Can I say that one again? True laws and principles attract and activate their own benefits or judgment. If you learn the laws of life, learn the laws of creation, learn the laws of spirituality, if you learn them and you obey them, they attract benefits. If you keep my law, Joshua, you will make your way prosperous. That means you cannot fail. Failure and success is not up to God. God's finished. He's created the whole thing. He put it in motion. You buy a car made in Detroit from Ford Motor Company. Ford Motor Company builds into this car certain laws. It needs oil, it needs fuel, it needs transmission fluid, it needs radiator fluid or water. They decide that, and then they ship it out to you to the Bahamas. Okay, no problem. They say if you give this car everything it needs, all the laws it needs, needs laws, it's able to function for you. No problem. If you want the benefits that are built into this car, they say, you must keep those laws. If you violate those laws, you attract what? Judgment. The car shuts down, doesn't serve you, you become a failure. It becomes a failure because you violate the laws. So, laws have their built-in benefits and judgment. What's the benefits of law? Number 1, laws and principles protect the product. Number 2, laws and principles preserve the product. Number 3, laws and principles serve the product. Number 4, laws and principles guarantee product function. Number 5, laws and principles simplify product operation. This one is important. If you know the laws, operation becomes very easy. You know, some of you got an iPad, you're working with that, right? You learn some basic things with iPad, right? That the laws are how it functions. And when you bought it, sometimes they have it built into the iPad. They have a function that says this will teach you how it functions. So you can press that and it teach you how this product functions. That is there to protect the product from abuse. So laws principles simplify product operation. Once you know how it operates by the laws, then you don't need to pray. You don't need to pray about how to operate your iPad, do you? Just learn the laws. At least in number 6, laws and principles bring peace and confidence. When you know the laws, you are confident. Why can I teach in this class with so much confidence? Because I know the laws, and I know what I'm saying is true, because I actually am a result of them. I learned them, tested them, proved them. They work. So I can speak with confidence. These laws work. Laws give you confidence and boldness. Number 8, laws and principles are the enemies of fear. When you know the laws of life and the principles of life, there's no fear in your life because you know what to do. Fear is evidence of ignorance. What did I say? Write that down and tweet it to somebody right now. Hashtag Myles Munroe, please. What did I say? Fear is evidence of ignorance. Wow. If you know you got $100,000 in the bank and everybody panicking, they ain't got no money, are you gonna panic? Why you not gonna panic? Now you can't see the money, they can't see the money, but how come you're not panicking right next to them? Because you know something, that's all. Knowledge reduces fear. Jesus Christ had no fear of death. Now, that wasn't because he was God. He told us why. He said, my Father told me that if I lay my life down, I could take it up again. That knowledge made him fearless of death. It was the information that gave him the confidence and the boldness. When you know laws, they cancel fear. And now you can see why laws are so important when we teach the laws of success. Law is the foundation, again, I repeat, of inherent in creation. It is the glue that holds the universe together. Everything exists by law, everything exists on law, everything exists for law, and without law there's no success. Now, why is law so important? I want you to read this verse that, and by the way, I want to say this because right now there's some people preaching around the world about grace. I'm not against grace, but I'm against the teaching that grace cancels law. Be very careful. You overdose on grace and you start abusing law. Overdose on grace and success runs from you. You overdose on grace and you use grace to break law. Grace doesn't cancel law. Grace positions you to keep the law. Let me prove it. The first statement of Jesus Christ on earth, when he came to earth about law, is found in Matthew 5, verse 17. Read it out loud with me. Go. Do not think, he says, that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish the law, but to fulfill them. And I tell you the truth, watch this now, until heaven and earth disappears. Is earth still here? Yes. Heaven still up there? Good. He says, until they disappear, not the smallest letter or the least stroke of the law will disappear from the law until everything is accomplished. The earth's still here. Wait, it gets better. Read. Anyone who breaks one of the least of these laws and teaches others to do that will be called least in the kingdom of God. Read the last part. It's about me. But whoever practices and teaches these commandments will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. I'm a great man. Are you great? Yes, because you learn how important laws are. You can teach others, right? You become a great. Christ says I'm great, not me. I am great in the kingdom of God because I teach you to keep law, not to keep grace. Grace forgives you so you could keep laws again. Yeah. Please get my series in the bookstore on law and grace. They'll help you. Now, I can't wait to get to this part here. Laws and tradition. Laws and tradition are different. Traditions can give you failure. Most people fail because of tradition. If you're going to be successful, you have to break tradition. Somehow we've made tradition and law the same. They are not. Let's read Matthew chapter 5, verse 20, words of Jesus Christ out loud. Read. For I tell you that unless your righteousness surpasses that of the Pharisees and teachers of the law, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. Now, That word righteousness means what? To be realigned with God's laws. Okay? So he's talking about the difference between tradition and laws. If you don't believe me, read the next verse. Matthew 15:2. Read. Why do you disciples break the rules or traditions of the elders? Stop reading. Notice the word or between what? Rules and traditions. They are the same. Okay, read it again. Why do your disciples break the rules or the traditions of who? The elders. Who? The elders, not God. Follow me now. You got to separate what man made from what God established. I guarantee you with all my strength that man has designed your failure. I don't trust no law of man. None. This is very important what I'm saying. He said, they said, why do your disciples break the rules and traditions of the elders? Nothing to do with God. Read the next statement. They don't wash their hands before they eat. Sound familiar? Jesus replied, now he can respond to them. Why do you break the laws of God in place of your traditions, your rules, your traditions? Wow. Help me, Lord. The difference between law versus rule. Get your pen. This is fresh stuff of the wire. Remember this all your life. My cyber members, write this down, okay? What is law versus rules? Number one, a general rule or principle that is thought to be true or held to be binding. The world calls that law. It's a rule. Number two, in the world, let's say that a statement of a scientific fact or phenomenon that is invariable under given conditions. They call that law. Now that's not necessarily true, because God violated many facts, like walking on water, violated a scientific fact. Opening the Red Sea, some say they ain't real. It happened. But God violated the natural facts. Number three, they say laws are principles set out in the Bible, especially the Pentateuch, which is the first 5 books of the Bible. Matthew, Mark, Luke, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy is the Pentateuch, the laws of God. They also say that laws are a rule or conduct or procedure recognized by a community as binding or enforceable by authority. This is dangerous stuff here. Law is a rule of conduct or procedure recognized by a community as binding or enforceable by authority. This is dangerous stuff. For example, in America some years ago, they made a rule that black people were only 2/3 humans. That means they were half animals. That was a law in America, right? So they expected the procedure to follow that. That means the black man could never be treated like an equal human to anyone else. So he was sold like you sell animals. It's called slavery. Why? Because there was a rule that produced that conduct. Watch this. And it was accepted by the community. So the white community in America accepted the rule that black people were not humans. They were just partially animals. So to sell them and to treat them like animals, to beat them and to burn them and to brand them with a hot iron was just like branding a cow. It's not. After all, the rule is accepted in the community that you ain't a real human. So the whole concept was based on a rule created by the community. and it was binding and enforceable by authority. That means authority gave you the right to buy a slave, to beat a slave, to brand a slave, and to sell a slave. The community made that enforceable. That's how dangerous the law is. Now, what happened to that? Well, you get people who rose up and says we are against the rule. Why? Because there's another law. The law says that all humans are equal, made in God's image. So that they got to find another law. They got that law from where? Genesis, right? So they say, okay, we found a divine law that says all humans are equal. So the law became more important than the rule. I don't trust rules of men. You can see why. The rules of men are designed to make sure you fail and to keep you from prosperity and success. The last one is the most frightening one. They say laws are an act of passed by legislature or a similar body. This is dangerous. A law is an act passed by legislature or a similar body like Congress or something. Now, that's dangerous, eh? They're making laws today, all kind of laws. I don't call them laws, I call them rules. The Bible calls them rules and tradition. They are trying to make it a tradition that two men get married, for example. Two men can get married. They're trying to make it a tradition so they can become acceptable by the community. Remember, the community now is the problem. And they want to enforce it by authority. You have to marry two men if they come to you. Why? By law, they say. So there, there's a problem in some countries where if two women come to get married, you got to marry them. Why? The authorities have to enforce it. Why? Because legislature says it is a rule, which they call a law. Now, problem. They made a human law, but natural law disagrees. The two men can't have children. So your human law cannot stop natural law or divine law. That's why we teach in this church the divine laws. And I'm telling you right now, I am willing to die to protect natural law and divine law. I know you're clapping, but that's going to be tested one day. See? We can see if you mean that clap. Me, I already decided. That don't mean nothing to me when it comes to protecting the laws of God. So here's the bottom line. The difference between rules and laws. Number one, laws are more important than rules. What did I say? Tweet that right now to someone and hashtag Myles Munroe. Number two, these are principles. Laws are different from rules. Number three, rules these are retractions, customs, limitations, and boundaries created by men. That's what a rule is. Men retract from the divine laws. They create customs. They create limitations. That's what a rule is. It's a limitation. They create boundaries. A rule is not a law. It's not a real law. If man creates a rule, it is not a divine law. See, man was designed by God to protect natural law and divine law. What man has attempted to do is to create a third set of laws, which are his own laws. And many times, those laws violate the first two laws, natural law and divine law. That leads to point number 4. Lords should never be subject to rules. Martin Luther King Jr. said these words when he was fighting against the oppression of white domination in America. He said, there comes a time when it's legal to break human law. It's an important statement. There comes a time when it's legal to break human law. So let's go, he said, let's go march. Let's shut down the country. Let's sit down on the buses. Let's shut down every restaurant. Let's don't go to work. Why? The law says go to work. That's a rule. But we say there's another law. We equal. So we ain't going to work. There comes a point where laws cannot be subject to rules. I'm talking about success tonight. And number 5, where there is conflict between a law and a rule, obey the law. What did I say? When there's a conflict between a law and a rule, obey the law. That might mean going to jail. Nelson Mandela went to prison because he broke a rule. And he broke the rule because he found another law. The law says all men are equal. The rule says they are unequal. He said, I'm going to obey the law and violate the rule. So I'm going to pay the price. And number 6, successful people always break the rules for the sake of the law. I remember when they said that no man could break the 1-minute mile. Was it, no, 3-minute mile, 4-minute mile, yeah. It was a law, it was a rule, they made a rule. The human can't run faster than 4 minutes in a mile, they said. That was a rule. And then one guy decided, I'm going to break it. And once he broke it, everybody break it. Leaders are always rule breakers. That's why they're leaders. You can't lead by keeping rules. You lead by keeping laws, but not rules. The rules are made by men. Who created the desktop computer? Who did that? You remember? Who? Stephen Jobs and his partner. Right? Do you know what they decided? They decided that a computer could sit on a desk. The rule says no, a computer should be big as this room. So they break the law, they break the rule. Once they break it once, that was it. Everybody started using desktop computers. Then Stephen Jobs came out and says, a computer can be in your hand. He said, that's impossible. Only for the desk. He said, no, we can have it in our hands. Now, last year, he said, what? We can have it on your wrist. They can soon have it in your eye. Why? Keep breaking the rules. The rules are made by men. You want to be successful? Find a rule and break it. A Bahamian cannot own a bank, they say. Okay, that's a rule. Somebody got to break that. A Bahamian cannot run a 50-room hotel. You got to break that rule. These are man-made rules. You know, men are so weird. Let me tell you what humans are like. Listen to me carefully. Humans made a car, right? They built the car and put on the speedometer 168 miles per hour. They give you the car, you buy it, you have 168 horsepower in the engine, then they put up a sign, 45. I'm confused here. Wait now. Why you don't build the car for 45? Then I ain't got to worry about it. Because humans are designed to restrict you. They give you rules to retard your power. And then comes Jesus and says, nothing is impossible if you believe it. Not them. That's where success begins. Success begins by ignoring them, violating their rules. Huh? You work in a hotel. God says, no, I want you to own a hotel on the island. You sit there saying, we don't own hotels. Who said that? They said that, is your response. Who is they? That's the question. And so you settle. This one is very important. Never be afraid to break the rules for the sake of the laws of God. Never be afraid to break the rules for the sake of the law of God in creation. I believe rules by man were made to be broken. And only those who break them make history. Humans design life for you to behave. So to be great, you got to misbehave. Can I hear an amen? You know, Sandra, sitting here and looking at you tonight, Sandra, kept. The rules, they said, you ain't never supposed to get back up. The rules says you ain't supposed to walk no more. The rules of men says, you finish. And Sandra here tonight writing notes. Because the law of God says something else. The law of God says, whatever you confess, you experience. Whatever you believe, you shall have. Whatever you say, you shall experience. Write down this. This is very important here. Matthew 13:11 says what? The knowledge of the secrets of the kingdom of heaven has been given to you, but not to them. See, they have their rules. You got the laws of the kingdom. They got their rules, you got the laws. They got their locks, you got the keys. You keep unlocking it, and it locks up, unlock it. Click, click. And the keys of the kingdom keep unlocking the rules, the locks of men. Successful people know laws that unlock the locks of men. Men lock you up, they lock you down, they tell you you can't do what you're supposed to do, Brother Claire. They tell you, you ain't never going to be the owner of the department or the owner of the company. You're going to work for the rest of your life. And God says, no, the vision I gave you is you own your own company. But the rule says you ain't supposed to own it. Break the rules. I am telling you publicly, break the rules. He says, you've made the rules of men more important than the laws of God. Matthew 15. They told me in this country that I could never do what I'm doing today. I violated their rules. And the big announcement is, you ain't seen what I got to do next. You all think you all know me yet. Just getting wound up. Now the question, what are you going to do? Here's the 10 laws. First law, number 1. This is the key. It's a law. You must discover your purpose. We're going to deal with that. Number 2, you must cultivate perception. They all stop at P, so you can remember them. That means you got to actually see your purpose in pictures. This is a law. You can't go the way you can't see. Number 3, it's a law. You must understand your potential. You must believe in your potential more than other people's assessment of you. Otherwise, you'll never be successful. Number 4, you must have a passion. Those of you who want to be motivational speakers, I give you a material, man. Write this down. But make sure I give me credit now when you use it the first time. This is the secret of success. Passion. The 5th key for success is principles. Even though you have vision and passion, you gotta have principles that protect them. So you gotta live by laws to protect your principles. your passion and your vision. Number 6, the law of planning. You have to plan your strategy to be successful. Make a plan. Number 7, people. Lord have mercy. This is an important one. The law of people. If you're going to be successful, you're going to have to protect yourself from the wrong people. And you got to gather in your life the right people. You got to avoid the wrong people. People are dangerous. And number 8, the law of persistence. Because there will be resistance. There will be those who don't believe you. Get used to it. It's part of the process of success. And number 9, the law of perseverance. That means you got to fight to accomplish your dream. Dreams don't come to you. You go for them. You got to persevere. Persevere means that you bear up under difficulties. You keep getting up. Keep dusting off. Keep saying, I'm going to start again. I'm going to try one more time, 2 more times, 10 more times. Perseverance. The last one is the law of prayer. This one is very important. It means that you must have spiritual reserves. You must be able to go to the one who gave you number 1. The one who gave you your purpose. You must have a daily relationship with him. Also prayers. Prayer is constantly staying connected, petitioning the source for your purpose. These are laws. We are going to study these in this school. And once you understand them, they're not difficult to apply. But you have to learn them, understand them, so that you can apply them. Here's a quote. I want you to follow this quote. I don't know if you can read this. We can start from the bottom. This is normally how you have to think to become successful. Start from the bottom. Can you see it? What's the first word? I won't. That's where people start. I won't do it. Number 2, I can't do it. Number 3, I don't know how to do it. Number 4, I wish I could do it. Number 5, what is it? Number 6, I think I might. Number 7, I might. Number 8, I think I can. Number 9, I can. Number 10, I will. Number 11, I did it. Okay, these may be simple statements, but everyone got to go through these statements. I don't know where you are on the ladder right now. Hopefully you are not on the bottom. I won't do what I dream. You have to get to the point where you get to the top and say, I will do this. The will is at the top because it means that you're willing to die for what you're going for. Is that clear? Read out loud, please. Action is the foundational key to all success. What is it? Action. As we close tonight, go ahead and get this CD, act on it. Start learning the laws. Read the Bible to get laws, not just to get devotions. Read the Bible to learn the principles, not just to learn verses. You want to go after the laws. Show me the laws. David said, if you teach me your laws, I will not fail. They'll preserve me. So act on what you heard. In Jesus' name. Everybody say amen. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Woo! Man, was that good, man? That was some good stuff, y'all. I don't know about y'all. So what we want to do, let's if you have anything that you would like to share that stood out to you, go ahead and press the number 1 at this time. I'm going to share something because he spoke about the laws and basically success being a byproduct of following the laws, right? So growing up, man, over the past years, I've looked into, I've read many mindset books, millionaire mindset books, things of that nature, and I ran across something called the law of compensation years ago. And so what I did was as we was on this call and he was talking about the importance of laws, I looked up some more. So I want you guys to write these down that I'm about to say, because again, it's all about following the laws in whatever area that we're in. So check this out. We're going to start off with the law of compensation here. This is from Ralph Waldo Emerson. So check this out. This principle states that you get back what you put into the world. If you provide value, work hard, and positively impact others, you will be compensated accordingly. This isn't limited to money. It can be respect, love, opportunities, and other rewards. The law of compensation. Write that down. States that you get back what you put into the world. If you provide value, work hard, and positively impact others, you will be compensated accordingly. Now, let me clarify accordingly. Working hard and value is subjective. Whoever owns the gas station at QT, in our eyes, possibly who's doing all the registration all day long, the person who's at FedEx who's throwing all the boxes on the truck for 12 hours a day, seemingly works harder than the manager. So value is about what is the perceived value, what is the perceived desired outcome that the person wants. If I can increase that while saving time and effort, that's what brings somebody value. So somebody may look like they're not working hard, they're not sweating, they're not physically, laboring or doing something, but somebody who's over management, somebody who's having strategic meetings, somebody who's planning may be way more valuable than the person who works 12 hours a day. So I just want to clarify that, because some people say, well, man, I work hard in the mud. I work from sun up to sundown, man. I'm only getting paid X amount of dollars. Well, value can be subjective based on the person who you serving and helping, right? So that's the first one, law of compensation. The second one is law of attraction. Many of us have heard this one and have talked about this one, right? If you focus on positive thoughts and maintain a positive mindset, you will attract positive outcomes. Similarly, negative thoughts can attract negative outcomes. Visualization, affirmations, and focusing on what you want are key practices. For example, when we talk about the law of attraction and thinking positive, when you're writing down your goals, some of us may be writing down unintentionally the negative part. Now, even our supreme wisdom lesson says settle on the best part of the planet Earth, right? Well, that's a principle that can be used in other areas of our life. So if there's something that I'm looking to manifest, I'm not going to say, I don't want a thief around me. I don't want someone who's going to betray me. I'm not writing that as my goal, because I'm focused on the negative. I'm focused on what I don't want. I probably should say, I want someone with integrity around me. I want someone who I can trust with important things around me. So I'm focusing on that which is positive. Because even though I may be saying and I'm trying to put in the affirmation of what I don't want, my mind, I'm still focused on the negative things. Our minds can't we can't occupy two things, can't occupy the same space at the same time. So as we're thinking about something positive, we cannot think about something negative in that same thought. We may can have two different thoughts, but if we focus on that which is positive, we can keep our vibrations high, which will keep our frequency high, which will keep our thoughts, our feelings. This leads to our actions, and we know our actions lead ultimately to our result. Okay? Next one, the law of cause and effect. This principle states that every action has a reaction, or every cause has an effect. In other words, the results you experience are the direct outcome of the actions we take. By choosing actions that are aligned with our goals, you can create the effect you desire. This makes me think of a quote from the minister. Hold on, let me get it. What did the minister say? Hold on. I can find it. Let me see what I said. Keep it there. All right, so check this out. Listen to this, y'all. This is from the minister. So if God is a man, then man is the cause that produces the effect. Watch this, what the minister said. All man has to know is how to cause the effect that he desires, and then work to bring the effect into existence. And there it is. Man is a God, God is a man. That's directly from the minister. So it sounds like the minister was teaching us what? A law. If you know the cause that produces the effect, focus on the cause that's going to produce the result that we want as a byproduct. So when we're studying people, when we're studying books, when we're studying those who are successful, don't just look at, oh, okay, they got the car, they got a house, let me duplicate that. No, what was the laws, the principles, the habits that they used to become successful in their lane? So I can study somebody who's a basketball player. I may not be a basketball player, but I can study the principles that they use to be successful. I'm pretty sure a basketball player who is most successful probably put in more work than the average person. Probably had the right mindset, probably went through a trial but kept a positive mindset, overcame it, probably worked harder he probably worked more than the time that he was given, meaning that after practice he put in extra work than others in the beginning. I bet you those are part of those processes. So I can apply that to business. I can apply that in other areas. Next up, law of growth. This law emphasizes that personal growth and development are necessary for success. It suggests that in order to change your circumstances, you must first change yourself. You grow by challenging yourself, acquiring new skills, and becoming better every day. Law of reciprocity highlights the idea of mutual benefit. When you help others, they are likely to want to help you in return. It's based on the concept that people naturally feel inclined to return kindness with kindness, which builds strong, positive relationships. Let me prove how I use this one on social media. Many of y'all know this if y'all been in digital real estate, the GEA method. If y'all ever paid attention in class, the GEA method is give, engage, attract. That's what I've used to pretty much grow out my social media. Many people want to get followers. They want to get engagement. Ain't nobody engaging with me. Well, did you engage with them first? Go on their page and like something you genuinely like. Go comment on something you genuinely comment with, which is going to make them naturally say, well, who is this? Let me check out their page. And if you have something that they like, that they value, they'll do the same. That's it, man. You want to get a position at somebody's company? Don't say, hey, bro, we got a collab, cuz. Say, man, look here. Man, I got this idea. They say, look out, boy, $1 million idea. Man, listen, that's not how you collaborate with somebody who's on a certain level. You find a need that they have. You find how you can add value to them. And when you add value, that's how you get their attention. Telling me about an idea after idea after idea isn't going to work. Most of the time, you may get somebody that give you some time, or you can go on Shark Tank or something, but that's what that's for. But do it, give, just help. If you want them to help in return, if you want their attention, you want their time, do something. Find a problem that they have that you can solve, and I guarantee you can get 5 minutes, 10 minutes of their time when you're over delivering for them without them asking. That's a law that has worked over and over again. Law of abundance suggests that there is enough success, wealth, and happiness for everyone. Adopting an abundance mindset means believing there are ample opportunities, resources, and wealth, allowing you to pursue success without fear of scarcity. Okay, we almost done. Law of belief. I just want to give y'all these as extra 10 that he gave us. Law of belief. This principle states that whether you believe with conviction, whatever you believe with conviction becomes your reality. If you believe you can achieve something, you're more motivated and take the necessary actions to make it happen. There are some people that would never, man, I can't even, it's hard. It's some people that won't even, if somebody's trying to give them a blueprint, because they lack the belief, they won't even stay to get the blueprint. This ain't for me. I don't know, man. I don't know about making that type of bread. I don't know about being that type of system. So if you don't even believe it, you won't even do the necessary steps to become successful. That may be reading, that may be going to a conference, that may be getting a mentor, that may be studying, that may be doing something with your website, that may be whatever. If you don't believe it, you feel like whatever is given as the blueprint is a waste of your time because I don't believe that's for me. So whatever we believe with conviction becomes your reality. I think that's a great point to highlight, with conviction. Because we can say, oh, who is the richest man? Oh, I'm the Asiatic black man, boy, the maker, the owner, cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. Well, cream, we know, always rises to the top. Maker, owner of something. So yeah, we can quote it. We can say it. We gods. We can say that we have the attributes of Allah and that we can manifest those attributes perfectly, maybe not all of them, but believing it with conviction is a whole different story. I can say, oh, I'm a woman. I'm not a goddess. I'm a god. I'm not a goddess. Oh, beautiful. That's amazing. You can quote the supreme wisdom. All praises due to Allah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. But if we don't believe it with conviction, we just great quoters. And our life isn't going to change and our actions isn't going to reflect it because I really believe I'm still a nigga, unworthy of success. I'm still a nigga, unworthy of people liking me, influence. So I always dumb myself down to protect that disbelief on the inside. Oh, well, it's okay. Well, I'm just putting it out there. No, man, I'm stamping this, man. When I put this out, this is a masterpiece. Got nothing to do with being arrogant. So check our arrogance, man. But don't. Here's the quote I said a couple years ago. Dang, I forgot how I put it, man. But basically, what I said was, don't limit yourself or not be good in the name of being humble. Some people hide behind that. It's really fear, lack of confidence, lack of belief in self, but you hide behind being, I'm just being humble. No, beloved, I'm just being humble. No, bro. You hide, you just don't believe in yourself. And if you scared, if you really go out there and believe that you may not get the response that you was hoping for. We have law of correspondence is number 8. As above, so below. As within, so without. This law suggests that your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. And the minister said this during Savior's Day, I believe, swan song. Did y'all remember that? Didn't the minister say that? He said your inner life prepares you for your outer life. See, the minister giving us laws. Your inner life prepares you for your outer life. So this says, as above, so below, as within, so without. This law suggests that your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. By working on our thoughts, emotions, beliefs, you can influence the outcomes of your life. Ooh, there's some good stuff here. Law of mental equivalency. This law often associated with the idea that your external reality will match your internal thoughts and mental images. What you consistently visualize and mentally focus on can manifest in your physical reality. And then last one, and then we're going to go to feedback. Law of least effort. The law of least effort says, based on Eastern philosophy, suggests that you achieve more by aligning with the flow of life rather than struggling against it. By focusing on your strengths, enjoying what you do, and allowing things to unfold naturally, you can experience greater ease and fulfillment. So that's the law. That's the 10 laws of success. Okay, let's go to is it Sanu? Sorry if I got that wrong. What's your feedback? What's your thoughts? What stood out to you during the?
Yes, sir. My name is Sanu Neframin, and I wanted to piggyback off of, first of all, the principle number 1 that you mentioned. I'm gonna turn my camera on so you can actually see my face. So as far as adding value to the world, one of the most potent definitions that I got from someone that I was listening to was the different stages of adding value. So he first spoke about stage 1 was labor, or what you do with your muscle. So going and trade your time for money is the first level of value, implementation. And then he talked about the second stage being management. So these are people who kind of manage the implementers. And this is what's going to pretty much determine the trajectory of your income, because it's like if you're doing the work with your hands as an implementer, your income is always going to have a certain ceiling on it. These are people who work for $15 an hour and things like that, which, you know, there's a place for that, but this is not meant for you to stay there. And then the managers, they make a little bit more than the implementers, right? Because they manage the tasks that they do. And then the third level of value is communication. And these are people who are in advertising. These are people who are in sports. These are people who are your actors and actresses. So they add a level of value that appeases people in the form of entertainment. And this is why they get the income that they do. And so, you know, their range kind of goes up to, you know, the 250,000 up into the millions. And then the highest form of value creation is the imagination. So when you invent things, when you create, when you have ideas for businesses, when you create ecosystems, these are corporations and things like that that people kind of work in and trickle down. And this is where you start to hire the implementers, the managers, and the communicators, the people who do advertising and things like that to attract business. So those four levels of value creation really made me think about like my own business. And not only that, but like a lot of stuff that I've gotten from like following your page and thinking about that in the context of like, how can I add greater value without having to physically show up to do the work, right? Because I mean, my work, I'm actually an architect and also a personal trainer. I don't like using the word personal trainer because it's a little bit deeper than that, but you know, what I got from that was, you know, teaching what you know and adding value in that way and really just expanding it out. So, so yeah, this is a potent conversation. I'm happy I clicked on this.
Man, did you click on this from being in the digital wealth thing on Instagram?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Man, welcome. Thank you. We here Monday through Friday, typically at 8 a.m. Central Time, but I'm working on a project. So I pushed it back. I didn't want to push back another day, so I had it in the evening. But typically, we're here every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Central Time.
Okay, I'll mark it on my calendar.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Man, but that's good, man. That's nice. 4 levels of creation, of value creation. First is labor. Second, manager. Third, the communicator.
Communication
Fourth,
and
the
imagination.
visionaries.
Yeah.
So I like that because now we all can look at our life, look at the income we making and say, you know what, which level am I on? Okay, am I just doing labor? Only way I make money is through my time. Okay, damn. Okay, that's why I'm making what I make. Am I a manager, meaning that I'm managing those who are trading their time for money? I'm just making sure everything is flowing and running right. Okay, boom. Then I'm a communicator. That's a film. That's sports. That's movies. That's marketing. Okay, I'm communicating. Okay, that's why I'm making this level. And then, or if I want to make more, am I the one coming up with the vision? Am I sitting back imagining? Wow. And think about how we were as children, y'all. We have big imaginations. And then something happens as we get older, we lose imagination. I used to look at, well, I guess I still can, look in the sky and just, y'all remember we can look in the sky and just picture something come up? Man, you can close your eyes and you can see stuff and visualize. That's the key. And what I've been learning even myself, man, because I am a doer from being a solo entrepreneur for so long in my past. Now I'm getting better at managing, but you would never grow where you want to grow doing it all yourself. You have to be a leader and a visionary or a great manager in order to grow. And the hardest part, y'all, watch this. It combines with 4 and 3. As a visionary, what I'm learning is I have to learn, and I struggled at it a little bit, learn how to communicate, like he said, better what's in my mind as my vision. Because I can have it all in here, SOP all in here, all the steps that need to be done, all the way it needs to run, I can have it perfectly in my mind because I'm the visionary. But in order for me to really have something that's flowing the way it needs to flow and grow the way it needs to grow, I have to learn how to communicate what's in my mind. I got to communicate what God has shown me. Because if I don't, they ready to do, but man, you ain't giving it to me the way I need to have it. You ain't laid out no blueprint for me to be this doer that you need me to, so they'll never be able to execute your vision because I'm lacking communication. Man, that's deep stuff, man. So I thank you for sharing those 4 pillars of value. That's deep. So nobody else had anything that stood out, or maybe y'all busy. Okay, maybe y'all talk better in the morning. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I'm gonna. He said. He also said. Let me see what else I got on here. When you know the law and obey the law, you control the outcome. The farmer doesn't have to pray about the outcome. He goes to sleep. That's deep. It aligns with there is no mystery God. We done prayed and waited for that mystery God for trillions of years. Ain't got nothing. Would you wait on that mystery God to bring you food? Emphatically no. So when we know the law, when we know there's work that needs to be done, the minister said, watch this, work is force times distance. Force times distance, meaning that I'm putting in work, labor, but then there has to be distance in order for me to call that work. If there was no distance involved in me working, so-called working today, I really didn't put in no work. So there's something that needs to be done in order for me to move and make progress. Then I can say today I've gone to work. Then lastly, I'm going to end with this and then we can close out because I got a meeting coming up. He said wisdom. So yeah, we want to be knowledgeable. Oh, I'm getting the teachings. Okay, like today. Oh, we get new. These laws is good. What the brother just shared, them 4 pillars, oh, that was good. I never thought about it like that. That's us getting knowledge. We're going to study group on Friday. Oh, that's us getting out. Brother Nuri just spoke this past Sunday. Oh, he gave us some knowledge. But wisdom is applying the knowledge. So when you know the laws, you can demand your own value. So he said, going to a mechanic, going to this, you have mastered the laws in your particular area that somebody else didn't master. So when they come to you, they got to pay you. As a marketer, I've been doing marketing for a very long time. I've researched, I did trial and error, I done failed, I done did good, I done learned all this different stuff. So I've learned what works, what's going to track, what's going to hit, what's not. So others who haven't learned that, hey man, you got to come pay for that. So wisdom is applying the knowledge. So we come on a power call every morning, we come on a power call even tonight, and we don't go apply this. We don't go as he said. Look at what he said now. He said in the Bible, go learn the laws and the principles that we can apply. Don't just go for the quotes, man, just so we can say, all right, I know this scripture spiritually feels good. No, go to learn the principles and laws that we can apply that's going to make our life better. So we can be in a position where he says you're going to be the lender and not the borrower. Life more abundantly. Where we can get what Master Father Muhammad said, luxury, money, good homes, friendship of all walks of life after learning mathematics, which is Islam. And what is Islam? Submission to the will of God. Yeah, let's get some. Yeah. So that's all I have, man. Hopefully you guys took notes, and maybe hopefully y'all, even if you're not sharing something really stood out to you that you can start to apply in your life. And there is a book, let me see, I think it's a purple book called The Laws of Success by somebody. I read it before. Anybody know what book I'm talking about? It's a book on laws of success. Is it a purple book? Well, Napoleon Hill, just to let you guys know, Napoleon Hill has a book called The Law of Success, but there's a purple book I got in my mind. I don't know why I got a purple book. But anyways, maybe not. But I'm more than sure it's a purple book that talks about it too. But The Law of Success. And what I like about this is it doesn't matter what lane I'm in, these laws can be applied. So it ain't, oh, this is only for those who are business owners. This is only for those who do this. No, these laws, principles can be applied to every area of our life if you want to be successful. So may God bless you all with success and a blacktastic day. And assalamu alaikum.